the boat.
Court is in session with Ryan in Sacktown on If You Don't Like That. Now, Ryan in Sacktown.
Oh, must be Ryno. And now it is that time.
It is time for game 82. Sunlight popping through the studio means it is a 12:30 start. You are the hardcores of the hardcores. Let me tell you, thanks for being here on If You Don't Like That. Kings Suns, you're hoping nobody gets hurt. You're hoping this is the last dress rehearsal before the Kings see Dallas. The only question is, where's the game going to be? You going to be the 9th seed, the 10th seed? Up for grabs today. A lot more up for grabs in the Western Conference as well. Games tipping off in the West all at 12:30 this afternoon. We can talk about the Clippers game. We can talk about the Stockton Kings. We get you ready for this one as well. Feel free to call the show if you want to talk about anything that's happened this season. If you want to reflect back on where you think it took a turn, where you think it got worse, where you think it got better, we can do that as well. Anybody going to the game today? You're getting a t-shirt, so enjoy that, a 6-man t-shirt. That'll be waiting for you on your chair. So, pregame now, halftime, Jerry Reynolds, postgame. When we'll know, Kings playing at home or are they headed to Dallas? We find out in just a little bit. Thanks for being here on the pregame.
Late nights on the screen, hey, it's Grant and Ryan. We bleed purple, talking hoops, never lying. Sacramento Kings, we rise and we fall. If you don't like that, then you don't know ball. Jerry sitting with the stories of the game, spilling all the truth, driving legends insane. From the Cow Palace days to Arco's roar, this town's heart beats on the hardwood floor. If you don't like that, turn away now. Kings in our blood, we ride.
Dang right, we ride strong and proud. And hello, friends.
Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello,
Yes,
friends.
it
Hello,
is Masters
friends.
Sunday.
Welcome to this tradition
As well.
unlike any other.
A tradition unlike any other. The pregame show on If You Don't Like That. What's up? Who's here? Like I said, hardcores of the hardcores. 52 have checked in at some point already. Let's get right to the comments. And then we'll go from there. We'll talk about this one. We'll look at who's in, who's out. But got to get you in here first. Yeah, this dude was like in before anybody got in. Oh, it's not him. Okay. Cristobal, what's up, man? How's it going? Things are good, man. I was about 60-40 to make the trip to Orlando for the G League Finals. Not going to happen, though. What's up, Cristobal? Again, you're in twice. I can acknowledge that.
Acknowledge me!
Sweet. Elijah's on the way. It's Fan Appreciation Day. So apparently there's like some QR codes on your shirts, and it's going to enter you into different raffles and drawings. There's a Rayleigh's gift card that they're going to be giving away. So yeah, you're getting a shirt. Hopefully it fits. You know, they don't make those shirts for larger people. They're usually like size large, or if you're a smaller person, might be a nighttime shirt, but either way, you get a nice Kings shirt. Kings fan, rather talk about the rest of the NBA. Yeah, there's some playoff spots up for grabs. I mean, we can kind of put it up if you want to see what's going on. We've got the West up, but here's what we got going right now live in the NBA. The East is already tipped off. Atlanta and the Magic's already going to be in the play-in, so that does not matter. Boston up 4, Nets, Knicks need to get that one. Pacers Cavs winning that. Wizards heat. And yeah, that's what it rounds out. So if you're looking at the Bulls trying to lose, so we get in our pick. Look, there's no guarantee you're going to get the pick. So you're still out of the lottery technically. But yeah, a lot going on in the NBA. Here's what can be decided today. Big win by the Clippers the other night. You all know that. That was massive for the Clippers. If the Kings had won, that would have sealed the 9 seed for them. But those are the teams you're looking at. Look, your best route to me, your best route. Dude, Cristobal, I don't know. You know why I don't know? Because I didn't create the song. And Cristobal, it's been the middle of the basketball season. On top of that, it's been Stockton playoffs. So I will find out the answer for you, but it is not at the top of my list right now. So I appreciate you always pointing that out. I will dig into it, just not right now. Probably sometime in the off season, to be quite honest with you. Your best route, if you're the Kings, is probably Memphis in the play-in. You hope Memphis loses a 7-8 game and the Kings can get them in Memphis. So yeah, a lot going on in the NBA. We'll talk about this matchup here in just a few minutes, but again, want to get you in on the action before we really start getting into it. And really, everything's kind of off the table today. Devin Booker's not playing. The Suns are going to give a lot of their young guys a look. By the way, I don't know if this guy's going to get a lot of time, but if he does, you better stay tight to him. His name's Ty Washington. He is a two-way player for the Suns. Dude can be explosive. So I'm hoping that he does not play a lot, but we will see. Rather talk about the draft. Yeah, it'll be here soon enough. Look, before we talk about the draft, we better talk about who's going to be the coach, who's going to be the GM. That decision's going to have to come fairly quickly. We already hit that. Adam, what's up, man? Do you think it was a mistake, Keegan taking the timeout when he stole the inbound last game? I felt like been better off if he kept going to the basket and the score. Cristobal, I had no idea it was on the intro that you were talking about. Man, thanks for letting me know that. I'm just busting your balls. Come on, Cristobal.
That's terrible.
I you know what? I don't think it really matters one way or the other. To be honest with you, it didn't jump off the page to me. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, should have kept going. But I know a lot of people talking about that. A lot of people talking about Doug Christie getting teed up. I love Doug Christie getting teed up. Finally, if you're going to handle the refs, get teed up. So we'll hear from Doug here in a few minutes after we get through some of these comments. Talk about the Mavs. We can talk about the Mavs. They won their last game against the Toronto Raptors. And look, the Mavs I know everybody's like, hey, you should see the Mavs. If you're going to play anybody, you should play the Mavs instead of the Suns in the play-in. The Mavs have something to prove because of everything that went down. You don't think Anthony Davis, if he can stay healthy, is going to want to at least get them through the play-in? They started Anthony Davis, PJ Washington, Najee Marshall, Derek Lively, and Klay Thompson last game. Gafford played 20 minutes in that one as well. So, I think the Mavs are tricky. And it depends on how Doug really. What I do know, number one, is this Levine and DeRozan thing. It's getting weird. You've got to find a way just to let Levine loose. Let him loose. It's what you got to do. Don't ask him to be a point guard. Find a way to get him in his spots. Everything else will fall into place. If you don't play around that, then you're going to see this funky basketball that's a race to 100 where the Kings aren't defending great, but they kind of hang in there. So you got to get that worked out first. But the Mavs, Doug Christie is going to have some decisions to make, and that's going to be a hard game if you don't get Jake LaRavia back. So we can talk about that as the day goes along once we know what's finalized. Win or lose, the Kings team has never given up. We ride at noon. Well, this Kings team has never given up. I think De'Aaron Fox gave up, especially in the Pistons game, but debatable. Ryno, you gotta fix the last part of the intro song, my man. I get it. Oh my gosh, the intro song taking over the show right now. I got you. We'll get it fixed. Cool? We cool? Dude, fun game. Fun game. Fun game indeed. That team's so good. They've got that edginess, that chippiness to them. By the way, that game was sold out. So good job showing up. It got chippy in the second half. And I loved everything about it. In fact, Mason Jones, I was sitting right next to him. He's like, they were going to shake hands with the other team. Hell no. We ain't shaking hands with them. Nope. Straight to the locker room. Unfinished business. And so they're on a mission. They're on a mission. And I know my man Mace was up early this morning doing his hot yoga and getting his rehab in. So, yeah, think about that. If some of you went to that game, you've seen a Kings finals game. I was talking to a radio personality here in Sacramento about that. At halftime, I was like, hey, we can say we've been to a Kings finals, about a Kings championship. So get it, Kings. Yes, indeed. All right. So Kings Suns today. Normally, these day games do not go great for the Kings. I'm not going to lie to you, but hey, it's the end of the season. This is a tune-up. This is your tune-up for the play-in. What are you looking for? Certainly, you want to get the victory. You don't want to play down to the level of the Phoenix Suns. You want to play to your standard, which is debatable. Doug Christie talks about this standard all the time, that as long as we bring the non-negotiables, then usually everything else falls into place. So it's a Kings versus Kings day, but in my heart of hearts, I would really like to see the starters not have to play over 35 minutes. I'd like to see him play maybe 30, that kind of game. Get some of the younger dudes some run. Maybe get IJ some extended looks as well. Doug Christie been high on Devin Carter. Thank you, my friend. Well, technically, I guess I have done 82. I have. I'll give myself that. Done 82. Because what Grant doesn't know is, look, I wasn't on the post-game show last game because I was down in Stockton, but I filed my report. Napes never played it. And the Stockton Kings, just like that, headed back to Orlando. They wrapped up their last home game of the postseason and season, winning 144 to 126. Incredible second half, full of intensity, spurred by Dexter Dennis right off of the bench. Once he hit the... Anyways, not going to make you sit through it. So, yeah, I have done all 82. Thank you, Adam. Doug Christie after last game.
I want to say, and I'm not going to, but there's a lot for us. We got to come up with the offensive rebound. I thought the guys' fight was spectacular. That's a really good team and super well coached by Ty. Multiple Hall of Famers on that team, and they play at a high level. Kawhi is and James are really good. We're gonna have to shoot the three ball a little bit more.
But here's the problem, Doge. You're gonna get a Macho Man butt.
But
You're gonna make the play-in. There's nothing you can do about it. So, and by the way, that video was shot. It wasn't landscape, so that's why it was zoomed in on my face. I don't know why I did that. Should have thought that one through a little bit more. You're gonna make the playoff or play in. There's nothing you can do. It is what it is. I get it. Okay, so that is the interesting thing to me. This roster is deeply flawed with no point guards and too many scorers. It's been something that has, if you want to talk about a consistency, during the Monty McNair era, it's been that you have not enough, you have too many scorers and not enough creators. Period. End of story. So I do agree partially with this. I don't think there's a lot of positive you bring from this season. And so it does partially worry me just a little bit that what if the Kings do, and I want to see them make it through the play-in, but if they do get to the first round and maybe win a game, maybe 2 games, not likely, but maybe they get 1. Is that going to be enough for somebody to be in Vivek's ear and saying, you know what? Damn, Vivek, you went through it this year. All the injuries, and you still end up in the playoffs? That's what scares me. There's not a lot to build on here. You got to relook at what you're doing if you're Sacramento. And now because of the trade, you've got to relook at what you're doing, and it's going to be around Zach LaVine. He ain't going anywhere unless you're taking a big pay cut. So anyways, back to Doug Christie.
31 tonight and 23 assists. Those are some of the numbers that you look at, and obviously we did get 11 offensive rebounds, and that's one way that we want to get extra possessions. But turnovers, physicality, extremely physical team. That's high level playoff basketball, and this is what it feels like when you don't come through and do what you know that you can do and you want to do. So we got one more go at it versus Phoenix. And make no mistake, you got to come with this same type of effort. This is a hard league. And that if it was easy, that's what I told them before the game. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But that's why everybody don't do it. So,
well, you have to be drafted to do it, and you got to be a top 1%er to do it. Anyways, Doug Christie asked a couple of questions about how the team's playing, about the byproduct, which is usually winning when the team brings the effort. Here's what he had to say.
It's a lot about the process and kind of living with the result for DeMar and Zach to struggle as much as they did through the first 3 quarters, and then the 3-point shot also not falling, and to be right there with the Clippers throughout most of it until that 4th quarter. Does that speak to that process of, I mean, you lost the game, but it's clicking at the right time?
It does. I mean, we've played against some really tough competition, and we've competed at the level that I expect, and I believe that our guys expect. But there's execution, and we have to make sure that we're executing at a really high level. And these are the ones that they stick with you. So 2 of them to this club that I'm gonna shut up.
Doug, does it feel like, over the last week or so, you talked about the physicality, some of these games you played, the opponents you face. Does it feel like with this group that you have now, certain things maybe are beginning to come together, and this maybe is preparing you for a playing scenario and what might be beyond that?
Absolutely. So I told them that however it goes, what's happening is that all of this is going to prepare you for that moment. Heartbreak, physicality, reaching the valley, coming out of the valley. Like, these are all things that help you and propel you to where you need to go. In the moment.
You know what's crazy about that? I'm going to back that up for just a few seconds. What he just explained is a typical Kings game. It's not even preparing you for a big game. That's a typical Kings game.
And out of the valley. Like, these are all things. Absolutely. So I've told them that however it goes, what's happening is that all of this is going to prepare you for that moment.
What moment?
Heartbreak,
heartbreak, physicality. Both of those things usually happen at some point during a Kings game. Heartbreak last game. By the way, we'll talk about the 2-minute report. Physicality. Usually the other team brings it first. The Kings play their best when it's them that show up with the physicality. I will give them credit here. When they get punched, they like to punch back and scrap it up, but I'd like to see them take the first shot. Anyways, go ahead, Doug.
Physicality, reaching a valley.
Lots of valleys, lots of dry spots during the games. ISO.
Coming out of the valley.
Zach LaVine going off.
Like, these are all things that help you and propel you to where you need to go.
Under 500 at home.
In the moment, it hurts. You're mad, a lot of different things. And sometimes you can lose sight of that. Like, you lose the forest for the trees. Like, sometimes you need to step back and look and say, like, you guys have done a lot of really good things since this all has happened with all that's went on. And you're still standing.
It's really interesting if you read between the lines with Doug Christie and his messaging, especially if you listen to his comments before last game. Somebody asked him a question about the season and the Kings being under 500 at home, and he stopped him right there. He drew a line between the Kings' home record since he's been coaching. And so it's funny how he's separating it. And I guess we separate it too because of everything that's happened. But I wonder, I seriously wonder, and it's one of those worries for me that's how the organization is looking at it as well. That the organization is like, all right, well, we're going to cut off everything that happened up until Doug took over the team. Like, the only thing we're paying attention to is after the trade and when Doug took over the team, which still there lies some issues. But to me, this whole thing needs to be relooked at. Has to be relooked at. Will this be the final Kings pregame show or on Tuesday? I don't think so. I think they get through Dallas. I do. Tay, Memphis might be the best route. 100% Memphis, the best route. But you got to have Jake LaRavia back. And I don't know the timetable on him as we sit today. I mentioned it just a few minutes ago. The 2-minute report said it was a correct no call. Zubats on DeRozan. A lot of you thought that was a foul. A lot of posts on social media about that. I was tagged in a ton of them. So the NBA says correct no call. Zubats establishes and maintains a vertical defensive position and absorbs the contact created by DeRozan. Now, that brings up an interesting point. I've been talking about it for the last couple weeks, and watch for it today. Maybe they don't do it today. Maybe today's a little bit of a different day because Doug's going to play some different combinations. But sometimes, and by sometimes, I mean a lot of the time, DeRozan and Zach LaVine will pass up really good shots to get worse shots and pick up the foul or try to pick up the foul. That's becoming a problem to me. I get the gamesmanship. I get that DeMar's great at getting at the line. But if you've got a damn good look, take it. This team's not good enough to play that game. The game this team has to play is open shot, make it. That's what they need to do. Nothing beyond that. Go on the road and win. Dennis doesn't care. Just show up. Yes, they are sitting out a lot of guys today. That is Dallas. Love all the comments coming in. Why are we obsessed with the pick? If you guys haven't seen the draft in the past year, look, are we going to play that game? Are we just going to throw the baby out with the bathwater? I mean, Cristobal, what if you have a new GM? Okay. And let's say the pick stays here. Somehow the Kings get the 12th pick and it's protected there. You can't do that. And I know it hurts. No Luca. I know let's see, Bagley. On top of that, you want to go back to the Stauskas. I get it, okay? But you can't judge. You don't know. Now, if it's Monty making the pick, yes, I'm very concerned. Just because we continue to pick up these guards that aren't point guards, aren't shooting guards. Hence, Terrence Davis. We have to give Zach LaVine props. Well, yeah, I mean, when he gets going, he gets going. Tracy McGrady, I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a tough comp. I'm not sure if I'm really there yet. But yes, it is fun when Zach gets going. No doubt about that. Let's go, Kings. Love it. Kings can win the first play-in and maybe a second one, but who knows? I feel the Kings are peaking with this roster because of the team's ages and not a lot of young players. Isn't it so funny, Doge, that the Kings were trying strategically to stay away from older guys after the Beam Team year, and look where we're at. I agree with you there. Keon took 2 shots last game. That can't happen. 100%. 100%. I say the same thing that I said before the last 2 games. This has to be played at a Zach LaVine pace. This cannot be played at a DeMar DeRozan pace. DeMar DeRozan pace for this team is toxic. Even if he gets to the foul line, the Kings are best when they are out in transition, when defense turns into offense and things get chaotic. That's when this team plays the best. And I think that's part of why you need Jake LaRavia back. Doug is really high on Jake LaRavia doing that stuff. BJ, what's up, dude? Love your passion. Appreciate it. Never taking games off, man. Never taking games off. I've had such a good time covering this Stockton team. Like, for as good as, or as like awkward as things have been here in Sacramento, down there, it's been great. That team is so connected. There was a call. So Umar called in post game last game. And he's like, what is it that the G League and the Stockton Kings are doing that's so much better than what the Kings are doing? Why is that? Does it matter? Well, one thing is Vivek's hands off. He's hands off. So they get to manage the team, right? And they don't have people in their ears, and they're doing a damn good job of it. So, yeah, I love it. Fans say it doesn't matter making the playoffs because we will get swept by the Thunder. Disagree. It matters being a top 8 team in a wild, wild west, but you're a top 8 team, Tay, that is going to be under 500. I get the wild, wild west part of it, but the Kings haven't been more injured than any other team in the West. You know, and we could go down the schedule and we could point to games that the Kings should have had. This easily. What are the Kings sitting at right now? Kings are sitting at 39-42. This could have been a 43-44 win season. Easily. Easily. So I don't know if it really salvages things. Now, the one thing that it does is it's good for the fan base. I always want what's best for all of you because I think you're the best and most knowledgeable fans in the NBA. So playoff time around here in Sacktown, it's an incredible atmosphere. So if you get a taste of that, awesome. You deserve it. You absolutely deserve it. But beyond that, I don't think it changes much. You've had people jump ship. Luke Laux goes to Florida State. I don't have a problem with that because it's his dream job. But than Wes Wilcox, who was, and Wes Wilcox, make no mistake about it. I have talked to numerous people, and it was hinted at in Sam's article. Wes Wilcox was doing a lot of the day-to-day GM activities this season. He was a little bit more hands-on. So for him to jump ship, I don't know. It's hard for me to look at all of those things and still say it's good. I don't know. Are you a top 8 team? That's the thing. And it takes you back to the play-in situation. Like the Kings, if the top 8 teams, realistically, let's be real about this. The top 8 teams, the difference between the top 8 and the 2 play-in teams, it's 8 games in the loss column. So even if the Kings make it to a first-round series, are they a top 8 team in the West? Record-wise, they're not. It's actually a decent conversation. It's a very good job, Tay. Decent conversation. All right, we're going to look at some stats. Let's listen to our man Keegan Murray after the Clippers game.
Inbounds where you got the steal there. What kind of were you thinking, or was it kind of just a spur of the moment, on opportunity?
We played good defense. We were able to switch effectively to affect the inbounds play and almost go in 5 seconds and got a steal. Call a timeout. We're able to drop a set. So being down and coming back, because I feel like that's the best situation we could have been in.
Keegan, just how are you feeling physically? I know you missed 3 games there with the back issue.
Yeah, I'm all right. It's the end of the season, so just trying to gut out the rest of the season. Just trying to put my best foot forward and help our guys, especially on the defensive end, win some games. So,
Keegan, you mentioned their defense. Just what do you make of just where they rank in the league and some of the opponents that you've gone up against this year?
The Clippers are really good. Especially ideally, you want to get them in a fast break kind of game because you don't want to play them in the half court. I don't think we're able to do that this game because they're able to switch 1 through 5. DHOs, they're really good at pinning the ball to the corner, switching top, bottom, stuff like that, which makes the defense really good, especially against us. So I feel like that was a really physical game, which is what it's like in the playoffs. So.
And along those lines, I mean, I'm sure there's many positives you can take from this. I know there's no moral victory, but just what are some of those big positives that you take away as you kind of close this season out and look towards the postseason? Yeah, I mean, we didn't obviously play a great game offensively. Defensively, I feel like we fought. We limited them. But fortunately, at the end, they got a lot of offensive rebounds. But just to look forward, I guess, so our physicality was really good, especially defensively. And if we take that into every game, we'll have a chance. So,
what did the Suns do at the end of this season? So their season ends today. One name that I'm looking at that I'm interested to see what happens is Devin Booker. What's next for Devin Booker? Has his time ended in Phoenix? So we've heard that Durant is likely going to work with the organization to get moved this summer. Matt Ishbia is not afraid of shaking things up and spending money. It's an interesting proposition to think about. Could you do business with Matt Ishbia? Maybe. We'll see. All right, which way you guys see this one going tonight or today? You got the Kings, you got the Suns. The Suns are basically sitting everybody. As you see, Devin Booker is out. No surprise there. Bradley Beal out. Durant, he has been out for a while, out of the seasons. Nick Richards out as well. I do know this. This is not a game where your starters should be playing over 30 minutes. That's the goal today. The goal today, 2 goals. Starters under 30 minutes and no injuries. Those two things, I'm a happy camper. Whether the Kings play on the road or they play at home for the play-in, I don't care. The Kings have played decent in Dallas. In fact, the Kings are arguably a better team on the road. Now, for you as fans, I hope that you get a home game. You've been through enough this season. Although I don't need to see another picture. Did you see the awkward family photo of Vivek Ranadive? I'm serious. Did you see? It looked like one of those back in the days awkward family photos. It's Vivek, Peja, Vivek's son, Vlade in the back, and 50 Cent all standing courtside before last game. What are we doing? What are we doing? So can you imagine who's going to be in that picture if the Kings make the play-in? My goodness. So what are your scores? Which way you see it going? Peter says Kings must lose. Nothing changes with a win. Lose and keep the 12th. Okay, guys, y'all, just because, okay, there's no guarantee that you're going to have a 12th pick, even if you lose. Do you realize that? You still need to get lucky and have some balls bounce the right way. I get it. Play away. The owner will get no money. Oh my goodness. The Kings are a couple games better on the road. The less than 3 games, not very encouraging. Yeah. Kings starters should play 5 to 10 minutes. As long as they play under 30 and nobody get hurt. Nobody get hurt. You do need a point guard with Booker. It's a good point. It's an excellent point. No, he is not a point guard. That is true. 13, the Kings. Okay, now we're oh my gosh. This show's off the rails. So what happens when we do an early show and the sun's still out? As for scores, and we get the draft from last year. Oh my goodness. You know who's going to bring us back on the rails? It's Jerry Reynolds. He'll be with us at halftime. Looking forward to having Jerry. I know you guys enjoyed having him back on the call a couple of games ago. We will talk about the first half. And again, low starter minutes and no injuries. That's what I'm looking for. And maybe a little bit of fun, a little bit of flash for the fans that are going to the game, play the Stockton Kings versus Phoenix. Yeah. No, you're not playing any Stockton Kings, dude. Well, you got IJ, who's full-time now. He's no longer with Stockton. No, if I'm not playing Mace, I'm not playing any of them. I'm saving them. Why? There's no point in playing those guys because you can't play them in the play-in. So if you're going to play anybody, it's going to be Terrence Davis. It's going to be guys like Jay Crowder, Doug McDermott. Those are the guys that are going to play. It's not going to be your Stockton Kings. In fact, I would actually be really surprised. I think they're traveling anyways. So, yeah, unless they're traveling tonight, I don't think they are. I think they're traveling today because the game's, I don't know. Trying to keep track of all this. So, all right, what are your scores? Give me your scores. Yeah, that's going to be a good matchup. I'm watching that too. I got it on right here. Rory was out of his mind to start his round yesterday. It was incredible. He was the first guy to start. Was it like the first 6 or 7 holes with 3? That's crazy. He eagled, I believe it's number 3. Yeah, number 3. So, okay. Hello, friends.
Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Welcome to this tradition unlike any other.
The Kings Court. Pre-game. Jerry Reynolds. Post-game. And we'll talk about post-game, the scenarios. We will know at the end of this day where everybody's going to be at, what it looks like, what I'm thinking. Oh, boy. I sure as heck hope not. Jose It depends on who you ask. It depends on who you ask. Arguably, the Kings are a better road team. Peter, Kings 93, Suns 97. Here's the guy that I'm telling you to watch the hell out for, Ty Washington. Do not, just because that dude's a two-way player, if he gets extended run today, watch out. Dude can score. He is a natural scorer. Now, size-wise, he's smaller, but the dude can fill it up. So there you go. All right, we're back at halftime. Jerry Reynolds with me. We'll talk about the first half and hopefully be talking about an easy lead, a little bit of a cushion, low starter minutes, no injuries, fans having fun, maybe somebody winning a giveaway that they're doing that's at the game and watching this. You can win ball. You can win ball playing games and still not being in the playoffs. And we could still. Oh, okay. Yeah. We are just word salading it. We are off the freaking rails at this point. Yeah, it's probably time to get out of here. Let's get out. We will see you at halftime. Make sure you come back and join us. Looking forward to having the one, the only Mr. Jerry Reynolds with us. Either way, Kings basketball. Enjoy it this afternoon. Enjoy everything else that's going on. Keep track of what's going on in the Western Conference as well. Everybody tips off same time today. So see you in about an hour and 15 minutes. Jerry Reynolds will be with me. Enjoy the first half of Kings basketball. Don't get off Ty Washington. Guard that man. I bet you he's going to get some decent minutes. I'm telling you, we might be sitting here talking about Ty Washington at halftime. And by the way, nobody is playing today for Phoenix to where the Kings should be in the drop, where they're giving wide open three-pointers. Should not happen. And that's what the edict's going to be from Phoenix. Shoot as many threes as you can. That's what it's going to be. So, hey, Thumper, you know I got some Macho Man just for you.
The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Boom. Nobody does it better. We'll see you at halftime. Jerry Reynolds joining me at the intermission. So long.